Away from boxing, let's do some football. A newly appointed CEO of Asante Kotoko, Nana Yaw Amponsah, has vowed to make the club great again. But how does the young football administrator deal with the culture at the Kumasi-based club? Now, Joy Sports' Hans-Mensah has been finding out.
There isn't anything that I'm going to do at Kotoko that has not been done before. Past management, from time immemorial, since the inception of this club, have done various things, have achieved various levels. I am here to put all the pieces together. And it will elate me to see Kotoko play at the World Club Championships.
Nana Yaw Amponsah's promise of getting Asante Kotoko to the Club World Cup is audacious, but the extent to which this promise can be delivered depends to a large extent on how he changes minds and, by extension, practices that have attained cultural status to align with his vision. Kotoko is a bona fide property of the occupants of the Golden Stool, and although the Asantene is not directly involved in the day-to-day running of the club, his word, as with everything in Asanteman, is law. He appoints and dissolves the club's board, which appoints the CEO when it deems necessary. Many believe the current administrative structure is problematic and will prove counterproductive to the efforts of the club's new CEO.
I think you all know that I don't like this structure for Kotoko going forward, especially in the 21st century. I'm sure you all know I'm not a fan of this Otumfo appoints a board. Yeah. The board appoints a CEO. Now we are not sure who is bankrolling the club. A CEO could bankroll the club and the board thinks they have the authority from Otumfo, and then the CEO feels that he's bankrolling the club and so he has the authority. It's messy, and it can be very messy with Kotoko.
Patience is thin on the part of funds to allow for long-term planning and the building of proper structures to ensure sustainable success and commercial growth. The club's recruitment, which often follows no lay-down policy, can at best be described as chaotic. Between 2016 and 2019, Kotoko signed 57 players and incurred massive losses as most of the players left for free. The situation is not helped by a vibrant media which sets the agenda for fans in respect of the direction of the club. They determine which players are signed and whether or not a manager should be maintained or fired. The biggest pointer is perhaps the audacity of popular fan Seidu, who stormed the club's training ground in 2017 to stop head coach Zdravko Lugarozic from doing his job. While Kotoko have maintained their status as a dominant force locally, the club hasn't won a continental trophy in over 3 decades. If that is to change, then the approach must change.
People are looking at this young man with a lot of ambition, a lot of ideas, so let's see how he's going to make this Kotoko project work. When you look at previous management, yeah, we can talk about Herbert Mensah, similar things. Kiki Sapon, they achieved a lot. Unfortunately, you don't see them building on the successes of those previous ones. You see, with Kotoko, you need to be a strong man too, because there are too many power blocks, too many competing interests. And if you are not tough and you want to be Mr. Nice Man, you may not succeed.
If Nana Yaw Amponsah succeeds in changing mindsets and the culture at Asante Kotoko, half the job of getting the Porcupine Warriors to the global club competition would have been done.
Very comprehensive report put together by Hans-Mensah. And well, away from the locals, Manchester United needed an extra time penalty from Bruno Fernandes to finally see off a spirited FC Copenhagen and set up a potential Europa League semi-final against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Elsewhere, Lukaku also scored for a record 9th consecutive Europa League game as Inter Milan beat Bayer Leverkusen in Düsseldorf to reach the semi-finals.